One song can spark a moment. One whisper can wake the dream. One tree can start a forest. One bird can herald spring. One smile begins a friendship. One moment can make one fall in love. One star can guide a ship at sea. One word can frame the goal. One vote can change a nation. One sunbeam lights a room. One candle wipes out darkness. One laugh will conquer gloom. One step must start each journey. One word must start each prayer. One hope will raise our spirits. One touch can show you care. One voice can speak with wisdom. One heart can know what's true. One life can make a difference. You see, it's simply up to you. Good morning, my friends. I'm here to tell you that the life of Sergeant Christopher M. Bracks made a difference. And the fact that his family is here to celebrate that, and by his family, I mean all of you, is a beautiful tribute. That you've come from near and far to do good for other officers who've lost their life. That Chris came all these years to do good, and that he passed away right in this spot. I'm not here to give you an answer or a why. I'm here to tell you that his life makes a difference. You notice how I didn't say made. Past tense only means something's over. As I just told his mom, his wife, his brother, his son, people are going to know who Chris is, and not just people in and around Hunterdon County who passed this spot. From now till we all meet again in that place where there's no pain or suffering but light, peace, and hope, they're going to know of his kindness, his compassion, his respect through all of you, through what all of you do here today and what you take back to your respective communities and do each and every day, which is give of your own hearts. The people do know and do appreciate that. There's a beautiful poem by Frida Feldman, if I can find it, of course, that says, "Love has no season. It comes in the night of winter, in the midday summer sun. It has no reason to be born, but I have never known it to be wasted. Seasons change, and so love's form." We wish Chris could be here today, riding with all of you physically. But I challenge you to put the love that he had and has and will continue to give to all of you as you continue up this hill and you continue all the way down to D.C. to make it known that police officers who've lost their lives still matter and they still give. So I hope that you realize that we're gathered here in somewhat sadness today. That love that Chris put out into this world will never fade. I'm going to ask his wife, Viviana, to come forward and share with us some words.
Good morning, everybody. I want to thank everybody that's here because you helped me in the worst days of my life. All of you guys were here last year with me, and it meant a lot. I don't know what I would have done without all of you guys being with us. I want to thank everybody for doing this memorial, because I know that I could come every year and see him, the exact spot where he passed away last year. I appreciate what all of you guys do, and I gained a huge family. I have so much love and respect for every one of you that's here. Thank you so much for being with me during this time. Thank you.
Thank you so much for your heartfelt words. And I have to tell you, when I heard that so many members of his family were actually riding today, it brought me to tears. I actually had to go back to my car and sit for a moment. And most of the folks from Hunterdon County know me and know I don't cry too quickly. I have to keep my tears. But the beauty of which you all support each other is truly amazing. I wanted to just take a moment to thank PBA 188 for all of their support, as well as all the law enforcement, EMS, and fire personnel from Hunterdon and the surrounding counties, as well as the New Jersey State Police and all the law enforcement that has come to support us today. Bill Cleary from Givnish Funeral Home, who was able to care for Chris last year and get him back home to California safely. Cinematic Productions and Show Off Productions for assisting us with all of the sound and lighting today, and of course Sutphin Memorials, who along with my family donated this beautiful memorial behind you. I just wanted to take that moment to thank everybody. I'm going to ask Chris's brother to come forward now to share with us some of his remarks.
Chris was he was a warrior, the longest I can remember, which is my entire life. He was a consummate comedian and master of mischief. He was the life of any party that he was a part of. If you didn't get the opportunity to be here with him on any of the years that he did this ride, take an opportunity to talk to somebody who had. I'm sure you have some absolutely bananas stories. As anyone who spent a significant amount of time with Chris would, we dropped a mountain on ourselves one time. Buy me a beer to hear the rest of that story. Skied down a Black Diamond slope together, though neither of us had ever skied before, during a blizzard. That'll cost you another beer. I wanted to ensure that you all knew how very much Chris loved this event. He talked about it all year, at every single family event, all the time, constantly. So it's important to us, his family, that we were given this opportunity to ride alongside you, his family. When Viv calls you Chris's family, she's not speaking in hyperbole. It's not meant to be poetic, it's literal. Chris, absolutely to his bone, considered every single law enforcement officer as close to him as a brother or sister. So it's an honor. I've heard it time and time again, today and yesterday, people, what department do you work with? On Chris's younger brother. It's an honor to ride with you. No, it's an honor to ride with you. So from this side of the family to this side of the family, we thank you from the bottom of our hearts. And I look forward to riding with you for the next couple of days. And I look forward to cashing in on those stories. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I'm going to ask the Police Unity Tour Chapter 7 President Gil Curtis to come forward to share with us some of his remarks.
Thank you. A year ago today, when we were at Franklin Township, the sun was out like it was today. It is today. The wind was at our back, and as we crossed through Sergeant's Bridge, Sergeant Christopher Bracks stepped off his bike and took his last breath. Ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce to you the Assistant Sheriff of Los Angeles County, Sergio Loma.
Good afternoon. Thank you all for being here. As I hear Justin and Gil reflect on Chris's life and our ride last year, I also was reflecting recently to the ride last year, the day before May 9th, when we sat in the hotel lobby at the Fairfield, just like I've seen many of you do in the last couple days. And when we sat there that night before the ride, a group of us from the LA County Sheriff's Department's riders, we sat with Chris and Vivian, and I remember listening to Chris tell stories, as Justin pointed out, a lot of stories about his previous rides in the Unity Tour and how much it meant to him. He talked about his service in the United States Marine Corps, his service with the LA County Sheriff's Department, and just how proud he was to be embarking on another ride. Chris first started participating in the Unity Tour and the memorials in 2016. That year, he was part of our honor detail. And for those of you that don't know what that means, is our honor detail from the LA County Sheriff's Department is in DC as we speak, and they'll be welcoming us in to the memorial on Friday. Chris was part of that group in 2016, and when we saw the Unity Tour riding in, he said to his partners, I need to do that. I want to be on a bike. I want to honor our fallen and ride. So the next year, 2017, he rode, and he continued to ride each and every year. As I mentioned, Chris was a United States Marine, having served in Kosovo, Operation Joint Guardian, twice in Iraq, Operation Noble Eagle, and Operation Enduring Freedom. Last year, the LA County Sheriff's Department rode to honor Deputy Tom Albanese, who died in the line of duty in 2021. What's important about that is that Tom was also a U.S. Marine, and that Chris was riding in his honor last year. As Gil mentioned, as we rode up this hill last year, Chris riding with Vivian at his side, he went down, and Vivian immediately rushed to his aid, but she wasn't alone. As I look around and I see the numerous law enforcement agencies and EMS and fire department agencies and our own riders all rush to his aid, I want to take a moment to thank and give our sincere gratitude to those agencies, to the Hunterdon County Sheriff's Department for responding and doing everything you did to support us, to the Delaware Township Police Department, especially Officer Tim Altheimer, who was here and one of the first responders, to the ambulance companies from Lambertville, New Hope Ambulance and Rescue Squad, EMTs Avery Rousenville, Kate Moran, from the South Branch Emergency Services, Captain James Race, and Bree Allardyce for their valiant efforts in giving Chris CPR right here at this very spot. To the Los Angeles Police Department, Chief Michael Moore, I think you're around here somewhere, sir. Thank you. Words cannot express the amount of gratitude that we have for you and your agency and everything you did for us that day and continue to do. To LAPD Officer Sean Murtha, he thought he was here to drive the chief around once we got into town, but actually he got assigned to us, driving us to Hunterdon Medical Center, to Philadelphia, back to the medical center, back to Philadelphia, taking Vivian and Evelyn Renderos to the airport. I don't think that the man slept the entire time. To LAPD motor officers, James Quinones, Steve Griffith, Bryce Verna, Carlos Murillo, Ed Castro, who were all here and rendered aid to Chris at this spot. Thank you. To our LA County Sheriff's Department motors, Sergeant Mike Foster and his crew. From the time that Chris went down here to the time that he went to the hospital, to the time that he went to the funeral home and to the airport, they never left his side. He always had a deputy sheriff with him, thanks to our motors. To the Hunterdon Medical Center, Dr. Michael Pendergrast. To Chris's nurse, Danielle Miletsky, for their valiant efforts to save Chris. To the Life Celebration Funeral Home, Mr. William Cleary. Mr. Cleary went above and beyond. He arranged for escorts, for the escort from the hospital to the funeral home, for Chris's escort to the airport so that we could take him home. To the Philadelphia Police Department, Commissioner Danielle Outlaw, and the entire agency for all your help and support. To the Philadelphia Fraternal Order of Police, FOP Lodge number 5, President John McNesby. That night, FOP Lodge 5 took the LASD riders into their lodge and gave us a place to sit, grieve, and remember Chris. Thank you. Of course, the Southern California Police Unity Tour Chapter 7, Gil Curtis, Joe Rosales, Steve Eberhard, Steve Getzoff, Chuck Petita, Terry Curtis, Karen Storm, Mitch Smith, and Kathleen Matthews. Thank you to Chapter 7 for your support that day and for your continued support. And of course, we can't forget Chapter 7 without thanking the mechanics, Todd and his crew. They picked up Chris's bike, they loaded it up, and they made sure it was serviceable so when we got into DC, we could all ride it as a ghost bike into the memorial so that Chris's bike and Chris could finish the ride. I'd like to also thank POPA, the Peace Officers Professional Officers Association, and ALADS, the Association for the Los Angeles Deputy Sheriffs, for all your support during the PUT, the memorials, supporting our riders and supporting our fallen. To the Bracks family, to Vivian, his brother-in-law Juan Carlos, to his mother Janet, Wally, his brothers Josh, Matt, Justin, who's riding with us, to his son Jonathan, who's also riding with us today in this ride, to his daughters Jada, Jasmine, Jorge, Maru, and Isaac. As you can see, I'm sure that, as I heard, Chris told many, many stories about this ride and what it meant to him. We are honored that you're here with us so that you could see, hear, and feel what Chris felt doing this ride, surrounded by his other family, his law enforcement family. When we get into DC on Friday, we have the honor of riding through the memorial and seeing the 23,700 names of the fallen on that wall. When you ride through, if you look carefully, you're going to see an inscription on that wall. It reads, "It's not how these officers died that made them heroes. It's how they lived." Officers like Chris. Officers like LAPD Officer Houston Tipping, LAPD Officer Fernando Arroyo, from Arvada Police Department Officer Gordon Beasley, whose sister Amanda is riding with us during this ride. Today, I ride for Sergeant Christopher Bracks from the LASD and 23,700 heroes who gave their lives in this profession. I thank you for joining us and joining me in this ride. Now, I mentioned earlier the Delaware Township Police Department. Not only were they here that day to help us and assist Chris, but they continue to help. This beautiful memorial that we will continue to be able to stop at from years to come was their idea, and they put it together. So I'd especially like to thank Officer Paul Murphy, Officer Timothy Althimer, and Sergeant Elliot Gray, and for the Hunterdon County Policemen's Benevolent Foundation, President Brian McNally, and State Delegate Frank Emanuel. Thank you. Thank you from the bottom of our hearts, from the LA County Sheriff's Department, and for everybody that's riding in the tour, and for our fallen. I think at this time, we'd like to make a presentation to them. To the Delaware Township Police Department, from the LA County Sheriff's Department, we'd like to extend our gratitude and appreciation for the hard work and dedication to the construction of the memorial in memory of our fallen brother, Los Angeles County Sheriff's Sergeant Christopher Bracks. Your momentous efforts ensure he will never be forgotten. to Paul Murphy, Timothy Altheimer, and to Sergeant Gray, in recognition of your assistance with facilitating the escort of Sergeant Christopher Bracks after he suffered a medical emergency and passed away while riding the Police Unity Tour. Your partnership and support ensured Sergeant Bracks and his family were honored with the dignity and respect deserving of a fallen peace officer. The men and women of the Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department thank you for your unwavering support and commitment above and beyond the call of duty and will never be forgotten. On this day, May 10th, 2023, signed, Robert G. Luna, Sheriff, Los Angeles County. To the Hunterdon County Policemen's Benevolent Association, Local 188, the Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department would like to extend its gratitude and appreciation for the hard work and dedication to the construction of the memorial in memory of our fallen brother, Los Angeles County Sheriff Sergeant Christopher Bracks. Your momentous efforts ensure he will never be forgotten. What we got? Stand up, please. Gentlemen, in recognition of your assistance with facilitating the escort of Sergeant Christopher Bracks after he suffered a medical emergency and passed away while riding the Police Unity Tour, your partnership and support ensured Sergeant Bracks and his family were honored with the dignity and respect deserving of a fallen peace officer. The men and women of the Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department thank you for your unwavering support and commitment above and beyond the call of duty and will never be forgotten. Signed, Robert G. Luna, Sheriff, Los Angeles County. Is Mr. Cleary here? To Mr. Cleary, the Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department would like to thank you for your commitment and support with the coordination of the memorial services for Sergeant Christopher Bracks. For your dedication, your assistance, Sergeant Bracks and his family were given the honor and respect they so deserve. Sir, thank you.
Good morning. I'm Sergeant John Padilla with the Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department, and I'm here representing POPA, the Peace Officers, Professional Peace Officers Association. We want to present Delaware Township Police Department with a plaque. With sincere appreciation to the men and women of the Delaware Township Police Department, we are sincerely grateful for your invaluable support following the medical emergency that claimed the life of Los Angeles County Sheriff Sergeant Christopher Bracks on May 10th, 2022, while he and his wife cycled through New Jersey with the Police Unity Tour. Thank you for your dedication during such a difficult time for the Bracks family and the law enforcement community. Both POPA, the Bracks family, and the Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department, thank you.
And one more group that we want to thank from the LA County Sheriff's Department, the Sheriff's Relief Association. They provided the plaques and support for the ride and our riders. So to the SRA, thank you. At this time, we're going to have Justin and Jonathan bring the wreath up.
Sheriff Aloma, thank you so much for your very kind and thoughtful words, and to everybody again for coming today. There's a quote by the philosopher Viktor Frankl, and it really speaks to the heart of what we're all thinking right now. And it says, "We cannot judge a biography by its length, nor by the number of pages in it. We must judge it by the richness of its contents. Sometimes those unfinished are among the most poignant. We cannot judge a song by its duration, nor by the number of its notes. We must judge it by the way it touches and lifts our souls. Sometimes those unfinished are among the most beautiful." And when something has enriched your life, and when its melody lingers on in your heart, is it unfinished? Or rather, is it endless? My friends, as the other speakers have said, as you come by this living, physical monument to Chris, may you always be reminded that you yourselves are a living memorial to him. You are the tribute that honors him and all the fallen officers that you ride for. So continue to live your lives with compassion, dignity, humor, and the ability to give people, when they talk about you, the reason people buy them an extra beer. Wherever he went, there he is. In a moment, we're going to have a moment of silent thought and prayer, and I would encourage you to hear Chris's laugh. I would encourage you to see Chris on his bike next to you. I would encourage you to feel his hug, because you can. You just have to think a little differently. After that moment of silence, there'll be a bagpipe tribute, and then we'll have everyone return to their bikes and continue to have a safe trip to Philadelphia and a safe trip to D.C., remembering Chris and all those who've gone before with love and respect. I'm going to ask all of you now to raise your hands towards Chris's stone, and there's on this beautiful spring day in Delaware Township, New Jersey, let us send a blessing of light to Chris and to his family. So if you'd all raise your arms. Chris, may the blessed sunlight shine on you like a great peat fire, so that strangers and friends may come and warm themselves at it. And may light shine out of the two eyes of you like a candle set in the window of a house, bidding the wanderer come in out of the storm. And may the blessing of the rain be on you. May it beat upon your spirit and wash it fair and clean, and leave there a shining pool where the blue of heaven shines and sometimes a star. And may the blessing of the earth be on you, soft under your feet as you pass along the roads, soft under you as you lie out on it, tired at the end of day. And may it rest easy over you when at last you lie out under it. May it rest so lightly over you that your soul may be out from under it quickly, up and off, on its way to heaven. Let's take this moment of silence in respect and honor of Sergeant Christopher M. Bracks. The purpose of life is not to be happy. It is to be useful, to be honorable, to be compassionate, and to have it make some difference that you have lived and lived well. Chris, you lived well, and you'll continue to live through all of us. May God bless you all as you travel to continue to honor all those who've gone before. Thank you all. Please join us.
Planted with intention, faith struggling with roots, soul tattooed in a garden, feet firm on changing ground, scars echoes for tomorrow, love circling around, thoughts lost in the flowers, tales washed away in waves, storm beautiful in power. I remember what you gave. Sky whispering like heaven, dreams shouting from the past, chains fading into thought like wings on butterflies at last. Gold fables with red letters, true once upon a time, found freedom in the waters, peace, freedom of my mind, thoughts lost in the flowers, tales washed away in waves, storm beautiful in power. I remember what you gave.